Hey DV, how you doing? Morning, Alison. Yeah, I'm good, Not too bad, thanks. Any trades anyone's taken? Any pairs anyone's watching? AU and EU. Yeah, so we do have some USD news today. Core retail sales and unemployment claims coming up. Well, I say coming up. Still got some time yet. So yeah, we've got unemployment claims, got retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing, and then we also have at 115 euro rate increase, which will be interesting. So again, looking at pairs like AU, still bullish. We have had a 4-hour break of structure, as we kind of mentioned yesterday. We've broken above this, so we can start to suggest longer term this low should be protected. We might see a retracement and then the next push to the top side. So AUD USD, I think pretty extended. It's had a 4H break, so now we can probably expect some pullbacks, but again, can't really do much because we still have this low, this high. Price came all the way down here, failed to break below this region, and then started to push off to the top side. Hence why wasn't interested in taking any trades in supply. If anything, missed out on this demand trade here, which again, if we look at lower time frames, so if we're looking at the 15-minute chart here, we could see this was the low point that created this high. When price came down, price fell to close below this 15-minute low. So we're still bullish. We then came up, reacted to supply, pulled back, and then if we mark our low to high, the trade was actually buying at this area of demand. And then you could see if we take that down a notch further, price broke above that supply, came back down, you know, we could have had a re-entry. But the bullish break above here, you know, anything about break above here would have been target, and we could at least target up to this area of supply, retest this supply again. So right now, still bullish. Can we expect a pullback? Yeah, it's due a pullback. Now, when is that going to happen? We'll need to obviously wait and see. But again, we've had a 4-hour break, so we can expect a pullback. But we'll need to wait and see. So realistically, see what the USD news comes in at, and pretty much take it from there. But overall, still bullish. I would much prefer to start shorting this because we have had a 4-hour break of structure, and like I said, we have lots of areas of unmitigated demand down below, and price is due for a pullback. CAD CHF, I still have my runner running in this. See if this can continue pushing down. I closed like 70% of my trade within like this region here, and now we're starting to see some move to the downside, so we'll see how that goes. EuroCAD's playing out pretty nicely, to be fair. I caught the trade here, but you could perfectly see price then pulled back again after that break above into that area of into our fib confluence, and then started to rally off again. So I think any kind of retracement on this, again, just continue with this trend. And where's the next area of supply that we have? The next area of supply sits up at like 1.45000 region. So we've got some good scope, but again, we do need a pullback before we can look to get involved in that again. What are you saying, DV? Gold pulled back nicely to the fib zone and tanking. Let's see, gold. So gold, yeah, so gold has, you know, we have had an M15 break over here, you know, because the last break of structure that we had was over here. Then we had this pullback, and then we marginally broke the M15, you know, but we need to see on a 4-hour chart, you can still see price has not closed above. So here's our low. So where was our high? There was our high, there was our low, there was our pullback. So we do still need to see a clean break of this. M15 we have broken to the downside, but if we come across to the left here, we do have this demand that price is reacting off of here. So we have this area of consolidation, and then we had this huge expansion to the top side. So we could see some pullbacks coming into play. So currently we have the M15 high here, we have the M15 low over here, but from this area of demand we could see some pullbacks. Now again, you know, within this downward structure, we still have, this is our lower high, this is our lower low, and this is just internal price action. So not really looking to buy or sell this yet. If we can see a pop above and a pullback, then yes. Or price could, with news, just sell off through this and just be creating some liquidity to the top side. Nas yesterday was perfect buys. It's just if it wasn't in this daily area of supply, buys yesterday were great. You could see we had the last high, we had the low, we then had a breaker structure, created a new high. We had our unmitigated area of demand just over here. We had our perfect fib confluence. Price perfectly rejected off of that on the M5. Boom, and started to push to the top side. So right now, as it stands, we have our M15 low, our M15 high. So keep an eye on this region, see what price does. You know, it is extremely bullish. So if price comes into this region, and respects it, we could see price potentially pushing further higher and continuing that M15 break. You know, because here's our last M15 break over here. So USD CAD, hey Whitney, USD CAD is still bearish. Well, I say bearish, it's still kind of within this range you can see on the daily time frame. Lots of liquidity below. Now we've taken out these internal highs. We really need to start having a clear break of this. But if we look at that on the 4-hour chart, you know, where's our current swing? We have our high there, we have our low there, we had a break over here. Internally, where's our last internal structure? Our last internal break was here. So you can see price came into that region and it's kind of just pretty sideways now. You know, we could see a shift to the top side. Reason why I kind of say that is because we have had a internal 4-hour break over here. So price could enter a pullback, or we could continue heading to the downside. But like I've always said, once price has broken a 4-hour structure, taking out this internal low, we should anticipate a pullback. Now if we mark out our 4H internal 4H high and low, we have a perfect area of supply here. So not overly keen on shorting this. What I'd much prefer is to see price breaking above this and then start to trade this back up, and then from this point here start to short again. Or see some 5-minute structure shift, because here on the 5-minute we had this huge push, we had a pullback, we then had this break, had a pullback, this high failed to break above this. So all price could be doing right now is just like doing this and then going deeper, because this is all internal, because this was the low that caused this high to break and create this high. So this is our expansion, this is our retracement. So we could still see price do this. So the retracement is all internal. So have to be mindful with that. There's nothing stopping price from coming in and having a deeper push into there before rejecting. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that, everyone. Hey Damien, hey Ryan, hey Anchor. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey Devish, you mean on the low time? I've seen the break structure on gold on M3. We reacted from fib zone bang on. Where are you guys seeing this? Where current price is? So where you guys seeing this on gold? Even if you share your chart in the chat, I should be able to open it up and have a look at it. Oh, from here, yeah. I'm just not keen on here because obviously lower time frame still hasn't like shifted back to the top side. Everything is just bearish. This would be more valid if we had actually had a internal shift. Now this demand I've kind of marked up to the left here. I was kind of covering it on stream. It's this demand here. So quite a strong area of demand. M15, as I had said, we've broken this previous low here. So this is our low, this is our high, here's our internal range. But on the 4H yet, we've not had a clean break. You know, you could see on the 4H, price is still respecting this demand zone. I'm not saying it's not going to break, just need to be careful. So I'm not overly keen on any buyers as of yet, because I think maybe we'll get a 4H break before anything else, and within that, you know, pretty much everything up here, that's how high and this is our low, everything is pretty much mitigated apart from this area of supply sitting up here at this extreme. What are my thoughts on GJ? I think GJ bearish. Like I took some sells over here, and purely I took aggressive sells here because we're in a daily area of supply. So if you look at the daily, you can see the daily is now pushing below this this area of supply. Sorry, the 50% of the GAN box. So if we come to the left here, look at this daily area of supply. You know, we had a huge drop. We had this indecision candle. We had this consolidation. Then we had this drop, which was like 1500 pips. So because we had a strong area of supply, I was waiting for price to see what price does. So as price kind of started to push up here, create this so-called internal structure, we came here, it was a weak close above, and as I started to see price start to push down from here, this indecision candle, I took an aggressive entry right off the back of that, and had my stops tight above this area here. Now as price got down into this region here, the London low, and we started to, once we pushed up and we pulled back here, I took like 60% off the table at like, what was it, 55 pips. Now again, aggressive entry, but purely based on daily area of supply. You know, that's what I took that entry based upon. But the proper entry would probably have been here. You can see here, you know, you have this area of supply now. Price has mitigated that 50% of that supply zone, and I'm expecting price to continue down from this point. Nice anchor, nice. So yeah, the safer option would have been this entry here. After this supply created, price pushed back into it, and then you can now see price is starting to sell off. But again, based on the daily supply zone and price coming to the extreme, I took that. So hopefully this can continue riding down pretty nicely. Ryan, would you totally agree if I were to take this, it would be most relevant demand in relation to that current price like on M3. Yeah, the thing is with you know, if for example we had broken above this and then came back and then kind of had an M3 demand here, then I would have been comfortable taking it. But there's nothing. All of this is just internal to this current push to the downside. Now, this is good that price has done this here because we've created some structure, you know, lower high, lower low. So if price was to shift, then we can start to trade it. So yeah, so with GJ, you know, I secured I can't remember if it was 65 or 70% I took off the table. So, but I'm not moving my stop loss to break even, because if it does come back and stop me out, I've already secured sufficient profits to cover the potential losses I might have. But if it continues running, like, I don't want it to be that it comes up and then tanks and continues shooting down. I'm happy because it's zero risk without me moving my stop loss to break even. You know, people move their stop loss to break even. I don't like to do that that often, because price, I teach it myself, price comes back to break even quite often. So why am I going to start moving my stop loss to break even? Not needed. If I've secured significant profits, then I'm fine with it. Thanks a lot, Anchor. Appreciate it. Yeah, so going back to gold, you know, what do we have currently? Like, we could probably see gold pulling back based on this current internal leg, this leg here. Now within this, if we mark this up, we do have an area of supply up over here at this extreme that is unmitigated. So lower time frame shift here could see us pull back into like 1954 area. But again, you know, patience, need to wait. Now, how many people probably, right, saw this and then saw this, oh, change of character? But it's not a change of character, because this is just consolidation. This is just early inducement, price pushed up and then continued down. Price was bearish. Now, if we look at where the last IBOS was, up over here, and then we mark our fib from this high to that low, you could see price pulled back. All price did here was come to the 50% retracement. So that was just a pullback based on this drop from this high. All of this was internal. This was the pullback based on this, and then we dropped again. So now that we've dropped, we've created some new structure. $104 pips, that's surprising. Raja Banks is usually like 20-30 pips. Not that I've got anything against the guy or anything, you know. Kudos to him, he does what he does. Now a lot of these pairs, like a lot of the, you know, AUD USD, we've spoken about them. As much as these look enticing, price is bullish. I cannot short into this until structure doesn't shift. you know, it might shift from here, but there's nothing telling me, you know, we created a higher high, higher low. Price could just react from here and come into this and then continue higher. Now, like I said, we missed the buys over here, as we discussed, but there's nothing stopping price to do this, because we did in this push to the top side, we created this internal high, internal low, internal high. Price could be creating an internal low to continue higher to break this swing structure. So all of this then becomes internal until it breaks above this or breaks below this. Now I'll only be looking to short if price takes out this low. No worries, Anko. I'll have a look at that. But until that point, just the way price, how many people would have probably thought when price came to supply, oh, we're selling off now, I'm going to short this. And then what happened? Look, because price never broke the structural low. This was the low that caused the previous high to break and create this new high. Price came down to here, failed to break the low. So all this was a reaction to supply into demand to continue pushing higher. But why? Because price action structure was bullish. So these are like key things people kind of get. Now, yes, in isolation, if you look at this area of supply, how tempting does it look? Strong supply, imbalance, everything. But what's the fundamental thing it didn't do? It didn't break structure. So how many people are sitting there in a short, oh great, I'm looking to take this down, left their trade on, and then eventually they probably get stopped out. And now, how many people now internally, we've had a internal breaker structure here. So price can absolutely just pull back off of this into an area of demand. We could get some bullish news for the dollar and price, bearish news for the dollar, and price could continue higher. If price rolls over from this point, then when we get a pullback, we could start shorting because structure has shifted. But we don't have a crystal ball to sit there and say, oh, we should be shorting here because price is bullish. Anyone that thinks that is virtually gambling. So again, if anything, this could be a good area for buyers. If price comes back into this region and holds this area nicely, this could be a nice area for buyers, depending on what happens with news coming out. But again, we also must be cautious that the 4-hour has broken the previous 4-hour high. So we could see a retracement. But again, is price reacting? There is an area of supply over here, but it's been tapped into multiple times. So is it gonna be respected now? Probably not. Now look at gold. Gold is just perfectly tapped into that. And what is it doing? Started to sell off. Now, as tempting as this looks, you know, we have a area of demand here, or if price starts to tap off of this, yeah, price could quite easily just do this and then roll over. Because structure has not shifted, so why would we buy? There's nothing telling us to buy. Just by seeing areas of supply and demand on a chart are not significant or sufficient enough for us to be sitting there saying, oh, let's buy this now, or let's sell this now. Sorry, not 104. I meant 40. Do you mean 14 pips? Oh, I just saw it. Yeah, 104 pips. Nice, nice for him. AUD JPY is in key area. Let's have a look at AUD JPY. What time frame are you looking at, Damien? Hey, Masia. Remember, guys, hit the like. Appreciate it. On the daily, I should teach Raja Banks how to swing. I hate swing trading myself. I just wouldn't have the patience for it. Yeah, I think price. To be fair, the daily, if we kind of look at this, we had this, we had a push above, we had a retracement, push above, retracement, push above, we had a change, pullback, break, and now we're continuing higher. You're looking at the entire swing like this, which isn't the daily swing. That's more the weekly, but technically this is a week high because price here failed to take out the significant lows at the bottom. So where's price headed towards? Price is probably headed towards breaking that high. And lower time frame, again, it's still bullish. Yeah, AU to me is not really of any AJ, sorry, is not of any real interest personally. AUD NZD, where are we? So, yeah, AUD NZD in the supply area, but I would like to see it break above this, create a new high, and then have a change. Start heading down. Euro USD, similar thing as well. M15 pullback complete. Internal, we're kind of shifting bullish. So if we see something like price creating some 3-minute structure coming into here, could see a nice continuation to the top side to create the next new high. The price did react from this area of supply over here. Have you had a look at EU? Yeah, just on EU now. Now we had the M15 push, we came back into demand, we started to shift higher here. Now if price comes back in, respects this area, we could see the next push up. Now again, all of this is internal to that M15 push above. Yeah, there was trades over here. I think you shared it down in this region here. Because you had demand here, price tapped into that, came back down to retest, and then you could see as you had the push off of that, price then came back, still respected this 15-minute demand that we've got marked over here. And the shift there, so the trade would have really been something like, I think we were talking about here, stops kind of below this demand zone, and at least first target the previous, target the previous high up here. Should have been like a 1 to 5 hour trade. See now, look, how many people probably just trying to sit there and being like, oh, I'm gonna trade in this internal structure. Now again, as tempting as it looks, why did I not want to short this here as well? I didn't want to short this because we're in an area of demand. If we weren't, then it would have been different, but we are, so it's very difficult to sit there trying to short that. Need to start going to sleep early and getting out of bed to catch these London moves. Indeed. I think we could see the dollar coming back up to like 103.800, because if we look at this on the 4-hour chart, we pretty much sold off from here and we've not had a retracement really from this point, and you could see that perfect area of supply that sits at 104 bang on psychological level. So we could see price react to this supply failed, demand held up, so we could see price doing this. Feel the same way. I'll have my charts marked up only for the moves to happen during London session. Yeah, that's life, You got to think of it this way: sacrificing a bit of sleep, and you can probably make more money in a trade than you will all month. You know, look at it from that perspective. Imagine you wake up every day to go to work, to put your shift and stuff in. You know, this stuff done right, 1 or 2 trades a week. You know, heck, 1 good trade a week is enough to make more money, depending obviously on your capital, whether you're funded or what you kind of have. But you know, funding is readily available now, so there's no reason why anyone who's consistently profitable that doesn't have much capital isn't funded. And 1 trade is sufficient to make more than what an average person would make in a month. Yeah, I know you mentioned Anchor. That'd be good for you. You'll be able to. For sure, definitely. Nice. Price breaks this on the hourly. If gold breaks from here, I think we could see gold just coming all the way down. At least next stop is going to be like 1896. Look at that, breaking through. Now where gold has done this, if we get a clean break and a retracement, I'll be more inclined to short. Less risk, purely because we have broken structure and we can probably pull back really at any point in time, but again, we do need to see a clean break. Right, guys, so news is in about we've got ECB news in like half an hour, and then 45 minutes till USD news. Yeah, I know that feeling, Damien. Right, guys, I'm gonna be off. I'll be watching the charts, but I've got weather's great here. I've got family and stuff coming around later. I'm doing a barbecue. Gonna enjoy the weather, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys soon. Have a good one. And if you came late, then just rewind the stream and see what my views are on some of the pairs, especially on the weekly watch list. And yeah, trade safe. You know, wait for the news, stick to the rules, and let's catch you guys soon. Take care.